Fireworks and freedom fries, a very American holiday. The 4th of July is a day that embodies the spirit of America. America! It's the 4th of July. A day where the streets are filled with parades, the air is thick with the smell of barbecue, and the night sky is painted with fireworks. Time for fireworks, barbecues, and pretending we understand what's in the Constitution. Families gather in backyards, parks, and beaches, grilling hot dogs and hamburgers, sharing laughter and stories. It's a day to celebrate independence, freedom, and occasionally setting off fireworks in ways that make your neighbors question your sanity. The excitement is palpable as children wave sparklers and adults try to outdo each other with their firework displays. But amidst all the flag waving and hot dog eating, let's spare a thought for our neighbors to the North Canada. While we celebrate our independence, they have their own reasons to be proud. You know, those friendly folks who live in a land of snow, healthcare, and a frankly unsettling obsession with poutine. They celebrate Canada Day just a few days before, on July 1st, with their own parades, fireworks, and festivities. They may not celebrate our independence, for obvious reasons, eh? But that doesn't mean we can't use this day to appreciate them. After all, our histories and cultures are intertwined in many ways. Because let's face it, Canadians are pretty great. They're known for their politeness, their love of hockey, and their beautiful landscapes. They're like the well-behaved siblings we never had. They bring a sense of calm and friendliness that complements our own boisterous celebrations. So, this 4th of July, let's try something different. Let's not only celebrate our own freedom, but also acknowledge the good neighbors we have up north. Let's show some love to our Canadian friends. Because in the end, it's all about coming together, appreciating our differences, and celebrating the things that unite us. The revolution they missed, a shared history. Now I know what you're thinking, John. We fought a war to get away from those tea-sipping monarchists. And yes, things got a little heated back in 1776, but that was like a million years ago. The point is, we've come a long way since then. We share the world's longest undefended border, a love for hockey, even if they're better at it, and a mutual understanding that Nickelback is best left unmentioned. Our histories are intertwined, like a plate of poutine after one too many Labatt Blues. We've fought side by side in wars, collaborated on countless projects, and even shared a few laughs over Justin Bieber's earlier hairstyles. Maple syrup versus muscle cars. Spotting the differences. At first glance, it might seem like comparing apples to oranges, but let's dive deeper. Sure, Canadians and Americans aren't exactly the same. They share a border, but their cultures have some fascinating differences. For instance, Canadians say more than is strictly necessary, turning it into a national catchphrase. They apologize more than a British person lost in a maze, which is saying something considering the British are known for their politeness. And let's not forget their love for denim. It's like they have an endless supply of it, ready for any occasion. But that's what makes them so charming. Their quirks are endearing and make them stand out in the best way possible. They're like the quirky neighbors who bring you maple syrup when you move in, even though you never asked for it, but secretly you're thrilled. It's a sweet gesture, literally and figuratively. Canadians are also incredibly polite, which can be confusing for Americans used to aggressive honking and people yelling at each other about the designated hitter rule in baseball. Imagine a Canadian driver patiently waiting in traffic, while an American driver might be more inclined to express their frustration loudly. But trust me, beneath that polite exterior lies a wicked sense of humor. Canadians love a good laugh, often at their own expense. Just try telling them you don't like Ryan Reynolds. See what happens. He's practically a national treasure, and their reaction will be priceless. Spoiler alert, they'll be very polite about it, but you'll feel a chill in the air. It's their way of saying, we don't agree, but we'll let it slide. This time. And let's not forget the breathtaking landscapes of Canada. From the Rocky Mountains to the serene lakes, it's a country that offers natural beauty at every turn. Plus, the wildlife is something to behold. Moose, beavers, and even the occasional bear add to the country's unique charm. Their festivals and celebrations are also a testament to their vibrant culture. Whether it's Canada Day or a local fair, there's always something to enjoy. And of course, ice hockey is more than just a sport in Canada. It's a way of life. The passion for the game is palpable and unites communities. So while Canadians and Americans have their differences, it's these unique traits that make Canada such a fascinating and lovable neighbor. Did you bring the beer, eh? Anecdotes from the border. The borderlands between the United States and Canada, a place where cultures blend and stories abound. I've met my fair share of Canadians over the years, and let me tell you, they're a hoot. Whether it's their quirky sense of humor or their unfailing politeness, there's always something to smile about when you're around them. I once saw a Canadian politely argue with a moose over a parking spot. The moose won, obviously, but what struck me was how the Canadian just shrugged it off and went about his day as if it was the most normal thing in the world. Another time, I was at a hockey game in Toronto, and the entire arena sang "O Canada" with such passion and gusto that I almost pledged allegiance to the Queen. Almost. The energy in that arena was electric, and for a moment, I felt like I was part of something much bigger than myself. And then, there was the time I went to a bar in Vancouver and accidentally ordered a double-double instead of a regular coffee. For those who don't know, a double-double is a coffee with 2 creams and 2 sugars. It's a Canadian classic. Let's just say I didn't sleep for a week. That much caffeine in one go was enough to keep me wired for days. But hey, at least I got to experience a true Canadian staple. The point is, Canadians are full of surprises. Just when you think you've got them figured out, they do something that completely catches you off guard. They're funny, they're friendly, and they're always up for a good time, as long as it doesn't involve conflict or confrontation. Whether it's sharing a laugh over a beer or singing their hearts out at a hockey game, Canadians know how to make the most of every moment. So next time you find yourself up north, take a moment to appreciate the unique charm and warmth of our neighbors across the border. Section 5. Why being nice to Canadians is good for America. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, this is America. We don't need to be nice to anyone, especially not Canadians. And to that, I say, have you met us lately? We could all use a little more niceness in our lives, and who better to learn from than the masters of politeness themselves? Plus, being nice to Canadians is just good foreign policy. They're our biggest trading partner, our closest ally, and they provide us with an endless supply of Ryan Reynolds movies. Do you really want to risk jeopardizing all of that by being a jerk? I didn't think so. Section 6. This 4th of July, raise a Molson to our northern neighbors. So, this 4th of July, as you're grilling your burgers and setting off your illegal fireworks, take a moment to appreciate our Canadian friends. Raise a glass of Molson, or a Budweiser if you must, to the people who taught us the true meaning of sorry, who gave us Celine Dion, "You're welcome, world," and who remind us that it's possible to be both polite and hilarious. Remember, being American isn't just about celebrating our independence. It's also about recognizing the value of our friendships, especially with those who live just a little further north. Section 7. The enduring power of friendship. After all, what's more American than friendship? We're a nation built on the idea of coming together, of supporting each other, of being there for one another through thick and thin. And believe me, with the current state of affairs, things are pretty thin. And who better to stand beside us than our Canadian friends? They're loyal, they're trustworthy, and they're always there to lend a helping hand, or a hockey stick if the situation calls for it. So let's raise a glass to the enduring power of friendship, to the bonds that unite us, and to the Canadians who make the world a slightly more polite, slightly more apologetic, and definitely more hilarious place. Section 8. A call for kindness, north and south. This 4th of July, let's make a pact to be a little kinder, a little more understanding, and a little more appreciative of our Canadian neighbors. Let's show the world that Americans aren't just about loud noises and oversized portions. We're also about friendship, compassion, and the occasional plate of poutine. Happy 4th of July, everyone! And to our Canadian friends, we're sorry about everything, eh?